Inheritance of the heart. 1. The morning it changed everything. Eleanor, sleeping through the first chill of autumn, was roused by soaring voices downstairs. Balloons. Glasses clinking. Laughter. A party. Her 34th birthday. No. Eleanor ventured out, rubbing sleep from her eyes, and found her entire family crowded into the living room. At the center stood her sister, Grace, in a pristine white dress, a surprise bridal shower. Confusion stunned Eleanor's mind. Soon enough, her parents stepped forward, exchanging proud smiles, and slipped an envelope into Grace's trembling hand. "Your wedding gift, darling," Mother cooed. "It's all ours that matters." Grace's teary voice quavered with excitement. "It's the house." Eleanor stood frozen. Their childhood home, the house she had poured her teenage dreams, college papers, kitchen experiments, and heartbreak recovery into, was being given to Grace, as a wedding gift. The room spun. Her pulse hammered. Father's warm hand on her shoulder steadied her, but his whispered words were almost unbearable. "We thought it would be better for her. With a new life, a new husband." 2. A fracture beneath the surface. Eleanor retreated to the old attic room she had once shared with Grace, now hers, bare walls, packed boxes, and the scent of old pine floors. She sank onto the bed, the loft window revealing blazing orange leaves outside like stitched scars. Memories cascaded. Grace's laughter when Eleanor tried her first makeup, Eleanor comforting Grace's teenage crush heartbreak, the countless sibling slumbers under whisper shared secrets. How did gratitude for a gift mutate into agony? She paced. "I worked here. I cleaned these floors. I paid the utilities while finishing my creative writing degree, grounded by student loans." Grace. She'd moved into the city, ambitious and giddy, then found love, so quickly, so serendipitously. And now, her dream home, owed not to her sacrifices, but to family largesse. An old letter she'd written to her future self fell from a drawer. "Greater than, I hope to return here, in my 30s, laptop in lap, muse in mind, calling this place, mine." Tears leaked down. She crumpled the letter. 3. Breaking point. Days blurred as Eleanor ignored calls, cancelled writer meetups, and feigned excuses at work. Grace called twice, voice quivering. "Tell me if you want to talk. I'm sorry you weren't told sooner. I need space," Eleanor snapped. Then came the inevitable family confrontation. At the dining table, where Sunday dinner had always felt warm, ghosts of better times hovered. Mother's rosary rolled in her hands. "Eleanor, darling, we did this for Grace because she needed stability. Did you ask me? Or at least tell me?" Eleanor's voice cracked. "I can't believe you signed those papers while I was in New York." Father bowed his head. "We didn't want to upset you until it was done. Yet you upset me most because of how you did it." Her rage, hurt, and raw disappointment spilled. Silence followed. No solution, no immediate apology. Just words left unsaid and fractures left raw. 4. The empty house. She moved out, sold off old childhood furniture, packed her memories in cardboard. She wouldn't stay on the same street as Grace anymore. A small apartment, a new start, but one with creaking floors rather than creaking hearts. Each night, the walls whispered, "Why did they choose her over me?" She found solace in coffee shops, parks, and the hum of strangers' lives. Her writing became darker, stories of family betrayal, inheritance gone awry. Winters came. She finished a novella she titled The Inherited Distance, where sisters fought over the family home, one ghosted, one guilt-ridden. It was raw and personal, wrestling with the intangible cost of love. 5. Grace's guilt. Grace and her husband, Ryan, moved into the old family home. Grace loved it. Morning light in the kitchen, library alcove, the attic room lovingly converted into a nursery. But every time she passed the front fence on evening walks, she flinched. Guilt buried in each brick. She tried sending photos, Thanksgiving table, baby's first crawl in front of mom's armchair, musings on floral wallpaper choices. But text messages lingered unread. Grace thought, maybe she hates me. Maybe she'll forgive us eventually. One day, Grace received an envelope. Inside, the crumpled letter Eleanor had written all those years ago. A postcard, a tree-lined street in Brooklyn. On the back, in neat block letters, "I didn't want to be forgotten." Grace gasped. 6. The meeting under familiar trees. She responded, "Meet me at the boathouse pier, Saturday, 4 p.m. Saturday arrived. Eleanor sat by the water, legs folded, wind tugging at her scarf. She stared at ripples, wondering if Grace would show. Soft footsteps. Grace approached, holding 2 lattes, one almond cold foam, the other black with room. Small solace. Eleanor accepted the cold one. "No words," Grace whispered. "Just, thank you for meeting me." They watched the ducks, but sound was inevitable. Grace's voice cracked. "I was so happy, but I felt guilty every second. I didn't fight back for you. I didn't call. I thought giving you room meant giving us space." Eleanor folded, breath trembling. "You got it. Space. Like an invisible wall I couldn't climb." Grace reached for her hand. "I miss you." Tears spilled, and Eleanor didn't pull away. 7 years later, return to the house. 5 years passed. Eleanor published The Inherited Distance to acclaim, her words resonating with readers navigating family, loss, and belonging. She remarried, and when her daughter was born, she named her Marley, after the attic window where the 2 girls had once dreamed together. The house. It still stood on that quiet lane. Eleanor and her family visited often. Paintings hung on its walls with stories written on well-worn chairs. On Mother's 75th birthday, Eleanor surprised everyone by closing the car doors and walking them through the threshold, her daughter tugging at the hem of her dress. "This house isn't Grace's or mine anymore," Eleanor began, voice steady. "It's ours. We built it with memories, mistakes, forgiveness, and love." In the parlor they'd sat in that day of rage, Eleanor placed her hand atop Grace's. The house breathed with them, acknowledging its new incarnation, a home not inherited, but shared. Reflections and themes. 1. The power of communication. The entire conflict might have been avoided, or at least softened, if Eleanor's parents had been more transparent from the start. Their secrecy bred confusion and hurt, not generosity. 2. Inheritance isn't only material. Grace found a house, Eleanor discovered her voice. Each inherited something intangible, but equally precious: Grace, stability; Eleanor, her career and independence. 3. Forgiveness is a journey. It wasn't the gift but how it was given that wounded. The sisters found healing not in restitution, but in reconciliation, an intentional, ongoing process. 4. Home is shared memory. By the end, the home becomes a crucible for unity, not division, a testament to the idea that spaces themselves are imbued with the energies we bring, crack by crack.